Please try to watch this video to the end. There is a lot of information in this video. This is an independence speech of our Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, today being 29th November 2025 during fundraising. Please.
Good day, everyone. Good day to the men and gentlemen of the press. Good day to Biafrans, friends of Biafrans. Good day to some of our friends from our neighboring country, Nigeria, that are watching us. Good day to the world leaders, our allies that have supported us privately and publicly. Good day to our lobbyists working around the clock behind the scene to create the huge success that we have never experienced in over 60 years. In the freedom and the restoration, complete restoration of the 40 states of the United States of Biafra. My beloved people of Biafra, my brothers and sisters across our 40 states and across the world, today we stand upon the summit of our history. Despite the kidnapping of our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and the shambolic sentencing conducted recently by the terrorist state of Nigeria, which we reject in its totality. And the kidnap of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, by Finland, and their neo-colonial and genocidal collaborators 1 year ago on the cold soil of Lahti, Finland. Our nation rose again from the ashes of decades of occupation, deception, and unspeakable suffering. On that historic day, 29 November 2024, we reaffirmed before heaven and before humanity that Biafra lives, that our sovereignty is inalienable, and that our freedom is irreversible. Today, 29 November 2025, we mark 1 year of restored nationhood, 1 year of courage, unity, and unbroken resolve. And I stand before you, not merely as your Deputy Prime Minister, but as one voice among millions, millions who refused to be subdued, refused to break, refused to disappear. Fellow Biafrans, history is a stubborn witness. Nigeria's so-called independence of 1960 was never independence. It was a carefully engineered continuation of colonial authority, a legal illusion wrapped in paper and sealed with British interest. The Nigeria Independence Act of 1960 and the 1963 Republic Act preserved the same colonial framework, the same external control, the same foreign domination over our political, economic, military, diplomatic, and financial systems. We were told we were free, while the chains were merely hidden under new laws. The British labeled our homeland Backland and Negroland, amalgamated peoples without consent, and signed a 100-year arrangement set to expire in 2014. An arrangement built on control, exploitation, and domination. It is against this fraudulent foundation which led to the massacre of Biafrans across the Nigerian entity that in 1967, our fathers proclaimed Biafra's freedom. And it is in full accordance with United Nations General Assembly Resolution 1514 XV, the Declaration on the Granting of Independence to Colonial Countries and Peoples, that we reaffirmed that freedom on November 29, 2024. The world has both a moral and legal obligation to recognize Biafra. And the world is beginning to understand this truth. Thank you so much for those that have seen the truth, those that have recognized that the Nigerian state is a terrorist state. In just 12 months, despite siege, propaganda, betrayal, and terrorism funded and coordinated by the entity called Nigeria and its allies, we have accomplished milestones that once seemed impossible. We now possess multiple international rulings affirming Nigeria's crimes and our right to self-determination and independence. The lies of the Nigerian regime have collapsed, is collapsing by the seconds. Under the weight of evidence, factual evidence is collapsing Nigeria's state. The world sees the blood they spilled, and the world hears our cry for justice. Despite every blockade attempt, despite banks being pressured to falsely brand ordinary Biafrans as terrorist financiers, despite the regime's starvation campaign using armed militias to invade our farmlands, destroy our livelihoods, and inflict unspeakable violence, we stood our ground. We will stand our ground. And we continue to help. We delivered food. We delivered medicines. We delivered hope. We supported widows, families of the detained, survivors of torture, children displaced by burned villages, and countless communities terrorized by Nigeria forces. And we continue to do so every day because our duty is to our people. And no amount of intimidation will stop us from serving and protecting Biafrans everywhere. No Biafran shall ever again be abandoned. thousands of innocent Biafrans are being locked up in different jails and cells and military barracks and police stations owned currently by the Nigerian state. These Biafrans have not committed any crime. All they seek is to be Biafrans. All they seek is to worship their religion freely. All they seek is to be free from a country that reintegrates and rehabilitates non-terrorists officially into their system. We are creating a lot of global awareness through our United States of Biafra radio, our global media campaigns, and our tireless lobbyists. The voice of Biafra is now being heard on every continent. Soon, the United States of Biafra radio will operate fully with Biafran's professionals, reaching every home, every diaspora community, every friend of freedom. Under our diplomatic reach and missions, we have spoken in parliaments. We have engaged hundreds of senators, representatives in different parts of the world. We've engaged with global media. We have met human rights institutions. We have established diplomatic missions across the world. From our headquarters in Washington, D.C., to our missions in Europe, the Americas, Asia, and beyond, the Biafra flag has risen again in dignity. We have formally notified more than 80 countries, including the neighboring state Nigeria, of our restored independence. And we follow up diplomatic engagements, which is ongoing, to ensure that every nation is fully informed and understands the imperative of recognizing our sovereignty and ending Nigeria's unlawful occupation, and more importantly, assisting to the dissolution of Nigeria so that human beings can live. Until Nigeria is totally broken and destroyed, human beings will continue to die by the seconds, mostly Christians and Muslims and indigenous Nigerians. Nigeria must crumble for people to live. Nigeria has now been designated by the United States as a country of particular concern due to its genocide against Biafrans and other President Donald Trump and your cabinet has officially designated Nigeria's ruling class, which includes their ruling class political parties, APC, PDP, and others, past and present, as a terrorist organization. These did not happen by accident. It happened because the truth finally broke through the walls of silence. It happened because of the thousands of the voices of the United States of Biafra indigents and indigenous Nigerians that have been crying out for help. Thanks to the United States of America and other countries that have come to the rescue of humanity to make the world a better place. On our international humanitarian law trainings, our armed forces and government officials have undergone and continue to undergo rigorous training in international humanitarian law. We will never permit indiscipline, criminality, or war atrocities to stain our sacred journey. We do not fight like terrorists. We fight as a people defending their homeland with honor, discipline, and full adherence to international law. Currently, Nigeria is occupying a foreign land, which is the United States of Biafra land. Nigeria must leave Biafra land. The people have declared their independence. The people have spoken. Nigeria is a lawless state that goes by the power of the bullet, by the power of the gun. No respect to both local and international law. Nigeria must leave Biafra land. We have the 40 states of Biafra governors. We have all the commissioners. We have the United States of Biafra military. We have the United States of Biafra police and security inside Biafra land. These are the only security allowed inside Biafra land at this moment. Nigeria must leave Biafra land. Let the world hear this clearly. Biafra is more united today than at any time since 1967. I'm promising you that. We have one nation, one destiny, one legitimate government. The government of the United States of Biafra. Whoever stands outside this government, no matter who you are, you stand with the terrorist state of Nigeria by choice or by compromise. Our currency, our new currency, the Ejema, is being finalized with world-class security features. It will replace the Biafran pound and circulate both domestically and internationally. Soon, Biafra will trade with her own currency, not with the symbol of a collapsed colonial construct. Our ID cards, driver's license, and passports. Our enemies attempted to sabotage the national ID card application, but they failed. These crop of Biafrans have never been seen before. It's not a matter of the gun. There is something more important than the gun. That is the will, the wish of the people. Over 98% of Biafrans stand solidly today with the United States of Biafra government. Our government has restored smooth processing and is now working tirelessly to launch the Biafra passport, which we will soon start using to move to different countries, collaborating with our allies. Secure, respected, and globally recognized very soon. Biafran diplomats and citizens will travel with pride, unburdened by the shame tied to the Nigerian passport. A call for unity, courage, and unshakable patriotism. My people, our journey has been written in tears, in graves, in burned homes, in refugee camps, in prisons, and in exile. But as the Odumegwu Ojukwu once said, the Biafran sun will rise again. And those who doubted will stand in awe. Today, the Biafran sun has risen, and it shall never, never set again. Nigeria and its collaborators, whether in Finland, in Africa, in Europe, or anywhere else have tried to use repression, blackmail, illegal arrest, torture, and propaganda to break our spirit, they keep failing by the second. Those of them that are in denial, they are coming to the reality as we speak. But hear me clearly. A free people cannot be intimidated. A determined nation cannot be defeated. A united Biafra cannot be destroyed. I call upon every Biafran, stand united, stand courageous, stand patriotic, stand disciplined, stand unbroken. Let us reject division. Let us reject fear. Let us reject internal saboteurs who rise to please their paymasters in Abuja. Our freedom is permanent. Let no one be deceived or moved. Fellow Biafrans, we have crossed the point of no return. Never again shall we be massacred into silence. Never again shall we be executed into obedience. Never again shall we live under imposed identities. Never again shall we crawl under the weight of Nigeria's occupation. Our independence is permanent. Our sovereignty is irreversible. Our destiny is unstoppable. And to our enemies, internal and external, let it be known, no power can turn back the wheels of history, and no force can reverse the will of a liberated people. Stop trying. The more you try, the more you go down. Forward into a new dawn. As we begin our second year of restored independence, I assure you more victories are coming, more breakthroughs are coming, more recognition is coming, more glory is coming. Because Biafra is not a political invention. Biafra is not a temporary project. Biafra is not a negotiation. Biafra is a covenant written in sacrifice, sealed by faith, and carried by destiny. My people, let us move together, strong, united, determined, into the future that God Himself has ordained for us. Long live the United States of Biafra. Long live the Biafra people. Long live our eternal freedom. Long live our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Long live our Onyendu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Happy first independence anniversary. The sun of the United States of Biafra shines forever. Thank you, my people. May God bless you all.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Unmute me. Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you for that maiden speech
Thank you.
of the first anniversary of the independence of the United States of Biafra.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Her Excellency.
Yes, thank you.
Our joy knows no bound today. Only the soulless and the heartless will not be happy and rejoice with us.
And the schemers in Nnamdi Kanu from the hands of terrorism. That's our urgent call. That's our urgent appeal to the consciousness of the global community. United Nations urgent intervene. The schemers in Nnamdi Kanu from the hands of terrorism. That's our call. That's our message. The schemers in Nnamdi Kanu, exercise your sovereign powers, ignite your degrees. The schemers in Nnamdi Kanu, that's our call, that's our message. Global solidarity for Martin Nnamdi Kanu is what we are calling for. Justice for one is justice for all. Injustice against one is injustice against all.